A new season complete with new drivers, 16 races to entertain race fans across the globe. It's Thursday Night Thunder Season 5. I'm Rick James, here to bring you round number 1 from the historic North Wilkesboro Speedway. 181 laps on offer. Two-time champion Tom Sears starting on the front row to the inside of the driver with the second best winning percentage last season, Cody Pennell. Bama Trama in the chat to kick off the new season. The pace car peels off. Let's go racing! First couple of laps of the new season, so far, so good. Jeremy Brio in the number 74 to the outside of Jason Alexander in that 5-6 Mopar Dodge. Right behind him, the double deuce, the 2-2. Trying to make his way through. Ryan Pennell in the 12 behind the 8-4 of Josh Garrison. These ARCS cars tearing up this track to the best of their abilities. You can see so little room out here. Al Simkowski in the middle into that number 99 McDonald's Chevrolet. Just behind the 2-0 of John Honeybrink. There's the 75 of Jimmy Kerr III rising out of that second corner to the inside of Honeybrink in that 2-0 Home Depot Chevrolet. And we're still good so far. Practice a bit chaotic for some of these drivers, but the running order has sorted itself out. Elliot Longenecker with a 19.13 second lap. That's the fastest lap turned of the race so far. The Washington native sitting behind the two-time champion Tom Sears, who's lost his pole position, but fighting back now. 1913, Sears goes purple, fastest time, and then Cody Pennell in that Texaco Impala SS leading all 6 laps of this race so far, and Pennell just went purple himself. 19.04 seconds, and they're only getting faster. Rounding out the top 10, Ohio's Terry Gabbard in the number 4. Jimmy John's freaky fast Ford. He's on the high side. To Winston-Salem, North Carolina's Ryan Pennell into the number 12 McDonald's Dodge Charger. New colors for the North Carolinian. The Duke Blue Devil fan from Winston-Salem, no less. How do you like that? But so far, all normal with the 12. He's riding in that top 10. Further on back, Jimmy Kerr rounding out the top 15. But he's caught up in traffic. Aiden Norman in the number 62 Dodge sits ahead of one. Car's gone into the grass. It's Thomas Andrews, defending champion Thomas Andrews. The Stamford, Connecticut pilot goes for a spill. We stay green with a one-car incident to the inside. And the TNT MGD Chevrolet now goes a lap down. 10 laps into this contest. Tommy Withers in the Stroh's Light number 6 Chevrolet. Rounding out the first Dirty Dozen with Aiden Norman in position 13. Rounding out your top 20, Tristan Catania, the New Jersey pilot, in the number 48 RaceArcs.com Chevrolet, just behind Briley Wright, one of those bluegrass bandits that we'll see driving this season. The other two, Toby Estes, and then the number 3 car of Cody Riggs sitting right up behind him. Riggs making a play for the top 17 right now. That's John Honeybrink just to the outside. Briley Wright trying to get around him. He makes contact with the 3, and there goes the Smokies Bar Chevrolet. He gets pushed by the 48 of Tristan Catania, and on lucky lap number 13, the caution is out. Greensburg, Kentucky's Briley Wright and Greensburg, Kentucky's Cody Riggs bringing out caution number 1. Another angle here. You saw Briley Wright trying to get to the outside. It just made the slightest of contact there. Briley did get a piece of that, and then the 48 of Tristan Catania with nowhere else to go. Let's ride along in the cockpit, see if we can have a listen with the driver of that Smokies number 3. Highest revs was when the 18 of Wright just got behind him. Let's have a look from Briley Wright's point of view. You can see he cuts the wheel right at the last second, but it's just not enough, and Wright does squeeze through, but not without a little help from Tristan Catania, who gave him the nudge past his fellow Kentucky driver. So the first caution comes out. Cody Pennell leading the way. Picked up 3 wins last season. One of the highest winning percentages of that 4th season, and he's leading the race. The Good Hope Georgian sits ahead of 2-time champion going for his 3rd title in 5 seasons. One Tom Sears sitting in that 2nd position with Elliot Longenecker behind him in that 2-5. And if you've just tuned in, got something special for you. We have a giveaway, the first of 16 giveaways we're going to do this season. We've got 164 cars up for grabs. Let's start that giveaway now. Be sure to enter TNT Giveaway 1 in the Twitch chat for your chance to win a 164 Alan Kulwicki throwback diecast. Remember when Corey LaJoy drove that Xerox car? Gorgeous, gorgeous throwback. And if you look on the Rick James TV Twitter, at Rick James TV, obviously, that's where you can catch a glimpse of that diecast car that's up for grabs. Shout out to Bama Trama. Suicide Way is getting a little chat in before that green flag. Waiting for the lights to turn off atop that pace car. And we'll go racing again. And there indeed do go the lights. So it's Good Hope Georgia's Cody Pennell who's going to be starting in the front. Tom Sears in 2nd in that Supra. Elliot Longenecker in 3rd in that Chevy Impala. Jeremy Brio 4th. Davey Hauk sitting in that 5th position. Let's see how they get along here. And if the single file restart looks a bit of a throwback to you, well, that's Thursday Night Thunder. Retro cars, retro paint schemes, and a little bit of retro rules, bringing a little bit of that nostalgic Winston Cup spirit back to life. Green flag is out. Cody Pennell leads at North Wilkesboro. North Carolina's Dustin Painter in that 00 Aqua Fresh Pontiac, bringing back some of that Buckshot Jones love from last season into Season 5. The North Carolinian currently sits in the 8th position with Josh Garrison rocking that singular Jason Leffler paint scheme behind him. And how much do you love these colors right here? It's been a while since you've seen that. And shout out Jason Leffler wherever you are, my friend. Hopefully you're watching TNT as well. Dustin Painter right now behind Juan Jimenez. The 2 Chevrolet Impala sits in the 7th position. The first Dominican in ARCS, let alone Thursday Night Thunder from Santo Domingo in La República Dominicana. Jimenez up to 7th so far with a little bit of a fishtail, and he's being scored as the 83, but the car says 22. So we'll go ahead and remind fans the car's being incorrectly labeled at the moment, but Jimenez scored with the number 83, sitting in that 7th position. Still holding steadfast on the outside of Dustin Painter. Look who's up into the top 10. It's North Carolina's Ryan Pennell. He gives a bit of a wiggle into that 3rd corner. Here comes the 6 of Tommy Withers. He's looking to fill in that gap also. 24 laps underway. Ohio's Terry Gabbard has had it. A crash from the Ohio native. There he is to the inside wall, but we stay green. 25 laps into this one. Let's see what happened to the driver of the Jimmy John's Ford. Just a wide line through turn number 3, gave it just a bit too much gas out of the 4th corner, and car number 4 goes for a spill and a bit of a love tap to the nose on that freaky fast Ford. Terry Gabbard down to the 20th position. Patrick Allen being scored in that 22nd position. He did not start today's race. Not a good start for the New Jersey driver. Tom Sears to the inside where there's very little grip, and you can see a bit of a fishtail coming out of that 2nd corner. Elliott Longnecker right behind him, but here comes Jeremy Brio in that 7-4. The driver from Pennsylvania looking to make a challenge for the podium positions. Brio. There's Jeremy Brio. Let's ride along with the 7-4. Caution is out. Tristan Catania into the number 4-8. Goes around, and you can see Briley Wright waiting at the entrance of pit road. That's a second caution tonight that the 18 has been involved. He'll come down pit road and he'll get some repairs. And then, of course, Tristan Catania involved in that one as well. Let's go back and see what happened to the New Jersey native. Oh, just gets into the 18 of Briley Wright. It was the 18 that had the incident well before the 48. This is on lap 27. Let's have another look, but from the point of view of the 18 car. Wright already up against the wall. Looks like he's got a tire down, some suspension failure. He's trying to come into pit lane, and Tristan Catania with nowhere to go gets right into the 18 of Wright, who gets pushed down pit road. Wright may have to use one of those fast repairs. Catania, we'll see if he has another fast repair. One more look from car 48. This is the one that's going to hurt the most. And that's the way the Generation 4 cookie crumbles for Kentucky's Briley Wright and New Jersey's Tristan Catania, respectively. Cody Pennell has control of the field right now. We'll see if he decides to come down pit road. Nope, the 2-gate car is going to stay high and dry on the outside line. And so far, he's led just about every lap, if not quite indeed every lap so far. Let's see if we can bother the Georgian for a quick word. Cody Pennell, Rick James, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Rick. You got me?
Hey, there we go, Cody. Had an unbelievable run in Season 4. New colors in that 2-8, and you've got a great start to the season so far. We expected there to be a lot of yellow flags in this race, and a couple in these first 30 laps. What's the strategy? Is it going to depend on the tire wear tonight?
Yeah, I believe it is, and with only 4 sets, we're really going to have to strategize when we take them, so that's definitely going to play a role tonight.
Lights are out on the pace car, Cody, so we're going to let you go back to work real quick. Once again, welcome to Season 5, buddy. Good luck.
All right, appreciate it, Rick.
So the Georgian's going to get back to work with the 2-time champion, Tom Sears, right behind him. We're going to restart on lap 33, and there you see the 18 of Briley Wright 1 lap down, so he'll line up to the inside of race leader Cody Pennell, waiting for that signal from the flag stand. There's the jump from the 2-8. Green flag is out. chance to win that Alan Kulwicki diecast. There's John Honeybrink to the inside coming down pit road in 19th place. He's going to lose a spot right there. Cody Pinnell on the outside making the middle line work. Tom Sears with little grip giving a drift with that 1-4 Toyota Supra, and that is indeed a Toyota Supra decal. ARCS Menards stock car. The Massachusetts driver sits comfortably in the second position right now. Elliot Longenecker in third. There's John Honeybrink coming out onto the racing surface, and he's going to have to halt him. But a heads-up move here. It cost him dearly, but hats off to John Honeybrink taking the safe route early on in this race, not burning those fast repairs and being just a bit more cautious in this season opener. Tom Sears in second, while Elliot Longenecker is struggling to hold on to that third position. Jeremy Brio in the hot hues, 7-4, trying to get his chance in there. That old dirty 30, he's got one ticket in the chat there. Fans, again, the Alan Kulwicki Throwback 164 diecast is up for grabs in the Twitch chat. Enter TNT Giveaway 1. Here's an example. Just like that. And Streamlabs will tell you you've got a ticket in the diecast giveaway, but of course, how the hell am I going to win my own diecast? Cody Pinnell leads. Josh Garrison rounds out the top 10 in that 84 singular Dodge Intrepid machine. Right behind him, the 6 of Tommy Withers, the Virginian, with one win last season, and a thrilling win it was at the Daytona International Raceway, trying to make his way into that top 10. Cody Riggs rounding out the top 15 with a mirror full of Richie Catania, the Central Floridian, catching up behind the Kentucky native, one of those 3 Bluegrass Bandits, Toby Estes, the one missing Bluegrass Bandit, but hopefully we'll see him next week. Wyatt's Dad 08 in the chat says, #1 broadcaster. Andrew Chapman in the house. What's going on, Chap? Glad to have you here. Nice to see fans from different leagues that we broadcast. 44 laps into this one, and the conveyor belt is in full swing. Defending champion Thomas Andrews sits in the 19th position right now, getting his way around Richie Catania. Andrews, one of those drivers that did come down pit road, although he does himself sit a couple laps off the pace. And Jimmy Weathers also in the chat as well. Glad to have you here, Jim. Cody Pinnell leading the way. Tom Sears in second. Elliot Longenecker in third. Looking back to the 18th position, Tristan Catania trying to make his way to the inside of Ohio's Terry Gabbard. The 48 car, the RaceArcs.com Camaro, behind the Ohio driver who had a spill himself, but Gabbard keeps himself just on the lead lap. He sits in 17th, half a second behind Richie Catania. Catania right behind Thomas Andrews. But again, Andrews finds himself one lap off the pace in 19th. Bama Trema in the chat showing a little bit of love. Appreciate you, ma'am. Send my love down to Terry and the rest of the family down there in Tennessee. White Stat says, shout out to my sponsor this season, Macaroni Setup Shop. And speaking of sponsors, this driver here, Tom Sears, with 213 Simware as a sponsor. No prizes for guessing what business they're in, but the 213simware.com Toyota rocks the second position right now. Not a bad start for last season's podium finisher. Sears maintains he was one race off of winning the title last year, but as is, he gets another crack. 16 races this time as opposed to last season's 12. 4 more, and a couple of special races, including one at Lime Rock. That's right, the Lime Rock road course with the Sam Posey straight, the big downhill bend. We're taking these ARCA cars to Lime Rock, and we're taking them for a trip around the Twin Ring Motegi Oval. That's going to come up later this season. You won't want to miss that, but you don't want to miss this either. 2x2, 2 rows deep with the new guy, Juan Jimenez, in the double 2, NTR Chevrolet on the outside of Jimmy Kerr in the 7-5. The 3 of Cody Pennell to the inside line. I'm sorry, that's not Cody Pennell. Cody Riggs, I'm sorry. Cody Pennell's currently leading this race. Cody Riggs is on the inside behind the 7-5 of Jimmy Kerr. And there's the 22 of Jimenez. He goes into the wall. Juan Jimenez on a slide backwards. He's got to gather it back up. Defending champion Thomas Andrews behind him in that MGD Chevrolet. Al Simkowski goes one better into the 13th position. Simkowski right now in that 99 McDonald's machine, right behind the 7-5 and the 3, who almost looked like they made contact. Cody Riggs sitting 11th, just one off of that magical top 10, while Tommy Withers starts to run away with his 9th placed advantage. The Virginian in that number 6 Impala looking to make progress. Aiden Norman up ahead in that 6-2 Dodge Intrepid, while South Carolina's Jason Alexander comes up behind the 18 of Briley Wright, who's not fighting for position. Davey Hauk, however, is. The Southern Californian now transplanted to Nashville, Tennessee in a very familiar 2-1 Exide Batteries Thunderbird. And I think that's the only Thunderbird livery today that we're going to have in this field. The familiar red spoiler and valence, akin to that Winston Million. The driver of that 21, he's up to 6th right now. He's chasing down Jeremy Brio in that 7-4. Over the last 5 laps, Hauk has made considerable distance up on Brio in that 74 car. And now it looks like he's on the attack. Further on back, Josh Garrison on the outside of Cody Riggs, the Kentucky driver, now into the top 10. Here comes Jimenez on a big resurgence. Once again, the 2-2 being scored incorrectly as the 83 car with the 22 paint scheme. He goes for a spill. One car incident, no caution out of the second corner. And the driver from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, falling back out of the top 15. He's in 17th now. Here comes Tristan Catania, 1 second behind the Dominican. John Honeybrink now trying to catch up to the New Jersey pilot. And behind all of them, Cody Pennell leading this race, still with Tom Sears faithfully behind him. Will Sears find a way around the Georgian? The Southern Mass native sits ahead of Elliot Longenecker, repping the state of Washington in his 2.5 windy Chevrolet. Longenecker sitting in 3rd. He's got a 1.2 second advantage to North Carolina's Dustin Painter. Another North Carolinian, Ryan Pennell, comfortably inside of the top 15. He's a half second behind Josh Garrison in the 8-4, and it looks like the Leffler liveried Dodge Intrepid having a bit of a slide back, but possibly the tires just starting to wear. We're 62 laps into this race. Drivers that pitted include Cody Riggs. Briley Wright has gone around. Caution is out for the 3rd time today, and unfortunately, it's the Kentucky pilot, Wright, who's gotten in yet another crash. The 5-6 of Jason Alexander involved in that one as well. The Salem, South Carolinian goes for a spill. He doesn't look too damaged, however. Let's have a look and see what caused Wright and Alexander to go around. This is coming out of turn number 4. Briley Wright in the 18. Does he just get loose? He does get loose. And look at this, a bit of synchronized spinning. Both Wright and Alexander get loose. But it looks like Alexander actually was able to save it. Let's have another look at Jason Alexander going for a spill. Oh, this is earlier. On board with Alexander. Takes that spill, puts the binders on. Look how close he was to coming in contact with the wall right there. How about Jason Alexander just missing that one? One more look. That was cool. So caution comes out for the third time tonight. Cody Riggs being scored as your race leader in the number 3. He last pitted on lap 29. Terry Gabbard pitted on lap 30. The rest of the field pitting on lap 63 this lap as it is. Cody Pennell now sitting in third with tires that are 33 laps fresher than Kentucky's Cody Riggs. So now the question has to be asked, what is the 3 cars' strategy? Let's see if we can bother the Kentucky driver for a little bit of insight. Cody Riggs, Rick James up top. How are you now?
I'm good, and you?
Not so bad. Good to see you in the lead. 2 of the 3 Bluegrass Bandits are playing tonight, and you so far are the front man of this Kentucky band. However, your instruments might be a little worn out. Cody Pennell and company, everybody from 3rd place on back has a 30-lap advantage on your Goodyears. What's the strategy?
Yeah, I've already warned them that my tires are going to be a little bit older than theirs, so they're going to have a little bit more speed on me. But I'm just going to try to hold this consistency like I have so far, and just try to keep it moving forward. I was gaining some pretty good spots back there, so just looking to get a good finish here tonight.
Lights are out atop the pace car. We're going green in a half lap, Cody. Shout out to everybody at Smokey's Bar in Greensburg, and shout out to our buddy Toby Estes, who's missing from the field tonight. Hopefully we'll see him in a week. Hopefully we talk to you at the end of the race. Keep the shiny side up, my friend.
All right, thank you, Rick.
Met Cody Riggs a couple of times. Pretty fine fella. Makes a great margarita, too, just in case anybody wants to know. He's going to lead us to green, 67 laps into this race. Ryan Pennell on the inside, the Winston-Salem native, 1 lap down. Green flag is out. Cody Pennell trying to cut through this field. Tall Bag of Milk says, let's go. Tom Sears cheering for his buddy in that 14 car, the 213simware.com Toyota, riding behind Cody Pennell, last season's 3-time winner in the Texaco Chevrolet. Big blink from Ryan Pennell as Cody Riggs goes slideways out of turn number 4, slowly approaching halfway. Riggs holding onto those tires, doing a grand job at the front. Blink from the 12 of Ryan Pennell again, and the 6'2 of Aiden Norman in that 14th position on the outside of Jimmy Kerr in the 7'5, following Josh Garrison in that 8'4 out of turn 4. 71 laps underway and 111 to go from the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Terry Gabbard still in the 2nd position, and hats off to the Ohio pilot holding on to that freaky fast Jimmy John's Ford Fusion. But here comes the fresh-tired cavalry. Cody Pennell up to 2nd, really making use of every inch of that North Carolina asphalt. Tom Sears behind in the 1-4, and look at the traffic jam behind them. 3 wide into the 3rd corner with Briley Wright in the 1-8 just trying to survive. Simkowski, Catania around the outside, and the Kentucky driver keeps it moving. The TMG Camry sitting in 20th right now, just trying to log those laps. Davey Houck in this muddle right here, the 2-1 Exide Thunderbird behind the 00 of Dustin Painter. There's another North Carolinian in the Aquafresh Buckshot Jones paint scheme, consistently in the top 10, but now looking to make a challenge for the top 3 once again. 74 laps about to be completed. Elliot Longenecker wrestling with Cody Riggs for that 3rd position. As expected, Cody Pennell, your new leader, with Tom Sears in tow, Elliot Longenecker in 3rd, and order has been restored to the top 3 once again. On board with Dustin Painter. He's just cracked the top 5. Dustin Painter comfortably in that 5th position. The 00 Aqua Fresh Pontiac up into that 5th spot. Still wrestling his way through, but at a good rate. While Jeremy Brio sits ahead doing the legwork. Cody Pennell a bit more conservative. Crash out of that second corner. It's Alexander once again. Caution comes out for the 4th time tonight, and that's Jason Alexander that makes hard contact with the guardrail, and the South Carolinian gets a bit more than he bargained for. Caution is out for the 4th time in tonight's season opener. Riley Wright also involved in that one. Let's have another look. No, this is far earlier. Let's see what happened here with Alexander. There he is. You just get, it looks like the 3 of Cody Riggs possibly got loose. And then Hauk also might have had something to do with that one as well. Let's have a look here with Cody Riggs. This is a couple of laps earlier. Let's go back to Davey Hauk in the 2-1. There's Hauk on the outside of Alexander. It's just a cluster here, and you can see drivers are getting just a bit dicey with each other. I think they say argy-bargy on Sky F1. Gabbard on the outside. Hauk trying to get closer to that 56 of Alexander, and it looks like next lap is when they're going to have this incident. Let's have a look. And there it is, just Riggs in the 3. Let's run this one back. It looks like Riggs and Hauk might have made contact out of turn number 2. And that is indeed what happened. Have a look. There's the bump from the 2-1. Riggs goes around nowhere for Alexander to go. And that's all she wrote there. Let's roll this one back, see if we can get a look with Davey Hauk in the 2-1. And Jason Alexander really getting the brunt of that deal. So the South Carolinian involved in yet another yellow, but he's got his shiny Mopar 5.6 Charger back out on the racing surface. Cody Pennell still with control of the field. He has led just about every single lap today, but can he finish and get his way into victory lane? Whitestad08 in the chat says, tough track, tough car. It is an incredibly tough track. If you've recently joined us, I'm Rick James. You're watching the opening round in the 5th season of Thursday Night Thunder. We're about to go green one more time. Don't forget to enter exclamation point TNT giveaway 1 for your chance to win a 164 diecast. Cody Pennell gets the green. We're racing again from North Wilkesboro. Okay, Rexkin in the chat, she's got her chance to win that Alan Kowicki diecast that we're giving away at the end of today's race. The 2-8 of Cody Pennell leading. Tom Sears in second, Elliot Longenecker in third, Dustin Painter trying to make hay while the sun shines. The 6-2 of Aiden Norman to his inside, Painter trying to hold on to that 5th position. Further on back, Richie Catania in 13th, trying to get 12th from his brother Tristan Catania in the RaceArcs.com machine. Winston-Salem's Ryan Pennell ahead of Cody Riggs in the number 3 Smokies machine. These two fighting it out, and then there's defending champion Thomas Andrews, who's gotten his way back onto the lead lap. Andrews in that TNT MGD Chevrolet Impala, winning his first title last season at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, looking to win 2 consecutive championships. No driver has pulled that off in 4 seasons of TNT. Will Andrews be the first? The Pride of Stamford, Connecticut currently runs in the 16th position. Further on up ahead, Elliott Longenecker joined by one Jeremy Brio in the 7-4. Let's ride in the passenger seat with the Hot Hughes Chevrolet. This is the battle for third. Brio up the back trumpet of Longenecker, but giving him just a bit of respite. We have 90 laps remaining in this event. Cody Pennell in the 2-8 to the outside. Sears going to the inside. Here's a fight for the lead. Massachusetts, Tom Sears slipping all up to the inside of Cody Pennell, but will he go any deeper into the corner, or will he leave room for the 2-8? Wiggle from the 2-8 and from the 14 car. Excellent fight for that lead, but Sears losing out. That was a slide big enough to knock him out of that top 2. He sits in third right now. Jeremy Brio on the outside. Caution number 5 is out. Richie Catania goes around in the 2-4 DuPont Chevrolet. The Central Floridian bringing a little bit of Jeff Gordon love onto the racetrack, and there's younger brother Tristan Catania up against the wall, and that 48 car has absolutely had it. Oh, big slam for that 48 as the pace car passes him, and the rest of the field rolls on by. Let's see what happened to the 2-4 of Richie Catania. Brother Tristan getting loose out of the second corner. The 2-4 of Catania gets on the grass hard into turn number 3. Goes for a big spill out of that third corner. Let's ride on board the 2-4 and watch this. Richie just messes up the trajectory right there and sails him into that third corner. One more look. The 2 of Thomas Andrews just barely getting away with that one. Let's ride along with Andrews as he tries to avoid this accident. Barely a flinch from the 2 car, the defending champion. Starting to turn in the right direction for him. He sits 13th and he's making his way through the field, but that move right there earns him Season 5's very first Cole Trickle move of the race.
Ice cream!
Ice cream indeed, Cole. Ice cream indeed. Thomas Andrews sitting in the 13th position, while the drivers circulate under the 5th caution of the race. Lights are still on atop the pace car, and your top 3 is still Chevy Toyota. The Impala of Cody Pennell sits ahead of this Impala, the Windy Chevrolet machine of Elliott Longenecker and Tom Sears in his number 14. Toyota Supra sits in the 3rd position. If you've recently tuned in, don't forget we're doing a 164 diecast giveaway for all 16 weeks of TNT Season 5. Just enter !TNT Giveaway 1 for your chance to win at the end of the stream. Obviously, 1 ticket per entrant. drivers cannot win this contest, and fans cannot win in 2 consecutive races. Georgia's Cody Pennell leading to another restart in that 2-8. Kentucky's Briley Wright starting to the inside. There's the jump from the 28. There's the move. Green flag is out again. Sitting in that second position, Tom Sears in third, the 1-4-2-1-3 swimwear machine. Sits 1/3 of a second ahead of Jeremy Brio. Dustin Painter sits in fifth with Aiden Norman in that 6th position. That's Davey Howe going around in the 2-1. Jimmy Kerr tries to avoid him. Everybody keeps it moving on lap 101, and we're still green in round number 1. Hauk still has it in one piece, and thankfully he's still in the top dozen. Defending champion Thomas Andrews right behind him. Ryan Pennell in 14th right now. Terry Gabbard rounding out the top 15. Longenecker up to the 2nd position. Tom Sears may have been unseated from that silver medal position. Jeremy Brio sitting in the 4th spot briefly, 2 by 2, 2 rows deep, and Dustin Painter watching all of this unfold just ahead. The North Carolinian just ahead of Aiden Norman. Al Simkowski in 7th. The Chicago native sits ahead of Josh Garrison into the 8-4. Another Ohio driver sits ahead of Kentucky's Cody Riggs. Riggs experienced what it was like on worn tires, and now he has the upper hand. His General Tires. They were bolted onto that car lap 79. Tommy Withers sitting in 10th behind him, last pitted on lap 63. Richie Catania, one of just a few drivers that pitted under that last caution on lap 95. Ryan Pennell pitted as well the lap prior, lap 94. We'll see what those fresh tires do for these drivers. Cody Riggs up 9 places from where he started. He's up to 8th. And the rest of the field, from 7th to 1st, have tires that are 8 laps more worn than Cody Riggs. Cody Pennell defending his lead against Elliot Longenecker in the 2-5. Longenecker still to the inside of Tom Sears and making good time in the 2-5. The 1-4 of Sears sits just to the inside. Richie Catania's had an incident, but still pedaling along now behind the 2 of Thomas Andrews. Further up, Josh Garrison on the inside line now. He's trying to pass Jim Kerr and make it stick for that 10th position. Tommy Withers up ahead in the 9th place. Stroh Light Chevrolet chasing down Cody Riggs. Garrison to the inside, slow out of the 2nd corner. Pennell can't make it 3 wide, but the McDonald's Dodge a bit shaky into the 3rd corner despite having that excellent entrance speed. Looking to make it 3 wide again into turn number 1. Contact between Catania and Garrison. 3 wide through the first 2 corners, and Ryan Pennell comes out the winner in that exchange. The North Carolinian up to 13th place. 70 laps to go in this contest. Elliot Longenecker falling out of the top 3, possibly out of the top 5 if Dustin Painter has his way. Cody Pennell barely leading this race, while Tom Sears to his inside now. These tires approximately 50 laps old. Drivers get a maximum of 4 tire changes in this race and 1 fast repair to be able to make it to the end of these 181 laps. So it may be a question of who takes care of their equipment best. Tom Sears looking to win a third Thursday Night Thunder Championship. To the inside of Cody Pennell. This the move for the lead, but the Massachusetts driver just can't quite make that stick. Jeremy Brio in the 74 now looking to fill in the gap left by Pennell. But so far, it's a dead heat at the front of this race. Briley Wright crashed a bit ago. Let's have a look. The 18 car possibly loose out of turn 4 again. And indeed, loose out of turn number 4. He's jumped to pit lane. Pennell leading. Brio now in second. And the Pennsylvanian seems to have the best handle on his race car. Chevy, Toyota, your top three. But here comes Aiden Norman. He wants to play with the big boys as well. A rookie in Thursday Night Thunder, making his first start in the first race of this 5th season. Norman sitting in 4th, up 16 places from where he started. Cody Riggs sitting in 7th, up 10 places from where he started. Now working on Chicago's Al Simkowski. This for the 6th position. Norman in 4th with Dustin Painter starting to catch up behind him. It's a dead heat for that 6th spot. Riggs trying to make it stick on the inside line. Further on back, defending champion Thomas Andrews. He's in 15th right now with Jason Alexander behind him. The South Carolinian looking to make some headway to the inside of the MGD Chevrolet. He's got a line, but can he make that one stick? The 8-4 of Garrison sits just up ahead. Big slide from the 2-4 of Richie Catania, but he keeps it moving in the right direction. Jeremy Brio sitting in 2nd, starting to catch up to the 2-8 of Cody Pennell. Over the last 5 laps, there you can see Pennell has been just microscopically quicker than that 7-4. But how long will he maintain that advantage? It's 61 laps to go in the season opener. And if you've just tuned in, I'm Rick James. You're watching Thursday Night Thunder Season 5, a proud series in the Alliance Racing Championship Series. Proud member of the ARCS Racing Network as well. Almost surreal that we're in our 5th season, but I am incredibly proud to be a part of it. Ryan Pennell looking to make his way into the top 10. Tall Bag of Milk has entered the giveaway. Fans, a reminder, enter exclamation point TNT giveaway 1 into the chat for your chance at a 164 diecast, an Alan Kulwicki throwback diecast. Corey LaJoy piloted that Xerox Chevrolet. Pictures available on Twitter at RickJamesTV. Al Simkowski on the outside of Cody Riggs. The Greensburg driver to the inside of the Chicago pilot. Still wrestling for that 6th position. Aiden Norman driving away as Terry Gabbard rejoins the racing surface in 17th. Everybody trying to make way for what is labeled as the freaky fast Ford Fusion, but you wouldn't know it by the way cars are just driving on the outside. Gabbard, last pitted on lap 79. He sits in 17th right now. His tires almost 50 laps old, but what can you say about Cody Pennell and company? He's opened a half-second advantage now over Jeremy Brio, with Pennell last pitting on lap 63. Will we see our first green flag scheduled pit stops? Will these drivers be saved by the yellow? Dustin Painter playing the conservative game all race long, and it's paying off for this North Carolinian. The 00 Aqua Fresh Pontiac making headway. Terry Gabbard just had an incident in that number 4 on lap 122. But he seems to be in one piece. Let's see what happened to the Southern Ohio driver. Loose out of turn number 4 once again, and he does make contact with that inside wall. Gabbard sitting in 18th, with John Honeybrink to his inside, just overtaking him for the 17th position. Thomas Andrews, the defending champion, struggling outside the top 15 right now, but still plenty of race to go. Meanwhile, Cody Pennell running away with this race, while Dustin Painter makes an incredible move to the inside. One more look at Painter getting around Jeremy Brio. This is a lap ago. Painter to the inside, making the inside line work when drivers are having so much trouble getting grip. Brio having trouble getting grip on the high side. He makes contact with the outside wall. Dustin Painter makes it work for him. And the Buckshot Jones Pontiac is up into the silver medal slot. Cody Pennell 1 second ahead, and over the last 5 laps, you can see Pennell has not been consistently quicker than the driver of the 00. Let's ride on board and go shotgun with the driver of the Buckshot Jones Pontiac, Dustin Painter. Painter makes contact with the outside wall, but he doesn't let it affect him. Jeremy Brio and Tom Sears right now wrestling for that 3rd position. Richie Catania in a discussion with Jimmy Kerr over a spot in the first Dirty Dozen. The 7.5 HBR Chevrolet sits just ahead of that DuPont Impala into the 3rd corner. Davey Houck sits ahead on the cusp of the top 10. But Winston-Salem's Ryan Pennell in the first race of the season, a bit of a homecoming race for the North Carolinian. He's catching up to Virginia's Tommy Withers for that 9th position. Jeremy Brio to the outside of 2-time champion Tom Sears, looking to hold on to that bronze medal spot, while Dustin Painter is all over the back end of Cody Pennell. This is the toughest challenge Pennell has had for the lead all race long. Painter to the inside. Will we have a new leader at the line? We do, but Painter can't make it stick just yet. Pennell won't go that easily. He's got 3 wins last season, while Dustin Painter came up winless in season 4. Will this be the turnaround that the North Carolinian needs? Still over 40 laps to go, but Painter putting in the hardest work we've seen for the lead all race long. 2x2 for the top spot at North Wilkesboro in season 5. Pennell desperately trying to hold on to that one. The Aqua Fresh Pontiac on the inside line has not yet cleared the Good Hope Georgian. And it's a homecoming race for Dustin Painter as well. He's a native to North Carolina. And what a way it would be for him to start season 2 with a win. Painter has cleared Pennell out of the 4th corner, and we have a new undisputed leader in the season opener, Dustin Painter, leading with 41 laps to go at North Wilkesboro. "41 laps remain in this 181 lap event. Just approximately 113 miles is the scheduled distance. 45 to 55 laps, the expected green flag pit window. Dustin Painter has not pitted since lap 63. Cody Pennell also has not pitted. Matter of fact, all of the top 5 have not pitted since lap 63. Cody Riggs not gotten around Al Simkowski yet, but he is into the 6th position. Chicago's Al Simkowski rounding out the top 5, while Tom Sears, Jeremy Brio sit nose to tail for 3rd and 4th. The 56 Dodge Intrepid is Jason Alexander, currently running 18th. Jimmy Kerr the 3rd. On the outside, as Tommy Withers comes down pit road, this has to be a scheduled pit stop, and the Virginian makes his way in for some relieving fresh tires, and we'll see just what those lap times read. Dustin Painter leads the race, but he's not alone. Cody Pennell starts to fill in the space behind him, and perhaps Pennell just wanted a break, and he wants to squeeze the pressure, turn the screw just a bit further on Dustin Painter, and see what the North Carolinian is made of. Painter in first, Pennell in second, Tom Sears in third by a distant 2.6 seconds. Ryan Pennell makes his way up to eighth. That's Aiden Norman and John Honeybrink 2 rows deep. Pennell has shown he's not afraid to make it 3 wide at North Wilkesboro, and the Winston-Salem native does it again to the inside, up to 7th, up 4 places from where he started with an intermittent blink, but it's no bother to him. Ryan Pennell up to the 7th spot, leaving Aiden Norman behind him and trying to take Davey Hauk with him as well. The Orange County native on the outside line, looking to make the most of his opportunity in the top 10, but no room for error as Jimmy Kerr III sits right behind this hornet's nest of race cars. To quote my good buddy, repeat 1975. Pennell has 7th place all to himself, but 6th is a long way away. That belongs to Cody Riggs, who's got far fresher I'm sorry, no. I was reading that backwards. Pennell has far fresher tires than Cody Riggs. And over the last 5 laps, there you can see Pennell 0.3 quicker that last time around. That time by Cody Riggs puts in a 20.45 second lap. Ryan Pennell, again, approximately 0.3 quicker, so he is on the move. Aiden Norman on the outside of Davey Hauk, who gets big loose out of turn number 2, and perhaps that's the telltale sign for the OC native to come get some fresh rubber for that X-side T-Bird. Dustin Painter still leads just barely. Here comes Cody Pennell looking to take top spot back. The Georgian to the inside of the North Carolinian, who gives a wiggle out of turn number 2, and it's a dead heat to lead lap 149. Painter rubbing a little bit of paint off of his Pontiac onto Pennell's Texaco Impala. And how about this for great racing for the lead in the season opener? Pennell to the inside, and he's your new leader once again. Painter, possibly the magic is gone on those General tires. Jason Alexander to his inside. The last time around, Jason Alexander put in a 19.22 second lap. I'm sorry, 20.51. Dustin Painter put in 20.60, so Alexander 1/10 quicker. Let's have a look at Tommy Withers. He last pitted on lap 141. His last time around, 19.44 seconds. Cody Pennell, 20.1 seconds. So Virginia's Tommy Withers, who's sitting in the 15th spot, is 0.7 of a second faster than race leader Cody Pennell. Josh Garrison has also decided to come down pit road, and the number 84 Singular Dodge puts on right sides, left sides. He's down and he's away. The Bloomingburg pilot in 18th. Ryan Pennell within 3.5 seconds to Jeremy Brio, who's in the 6th position. The Hot Hughes DuPont Impala last pitted on lap 63. Cody Riggs, who's in 5th, last pitted on lap 79. He and Al Simkowski running similar lap times, and perhaps Riggs just saving those tires. Maybe there's no desire for the Smokies Chevrolet to make the pass on the McDonald's Impala. Cody Pennell leading Dustin Painter by 0.4 of a second, rising up out of that second corner. We're inside the final 30 laps, and we're about to hit the final 2.5. Aiden Norman decides to come down pit road. The 62 Dodge, he's taken a couple of scrapes tonight, but he stayed in the top 10 for most of this race. Pennell gives a wiggle out of that second corner. Dustin Painter, does he smell blood in the water? Here comes Cody Riggs now trying to make the move, but he can't make it stick. Terry Gabbard now working on the outside of Jason Alexander. This is Ohio versus South Carolina for the 15th spot. Alsimkowski still ahead of Cody Riggs, and it's not a wide gap. Talk about no room for error on the 99. Pennell now leading by 1.5 seconds over Dustin Painter, who sees Tom Sears starting to creep in. Massachusetts native trying to work his way into the second position, and there you see over the last 3 laps, Sears quicker than Painter. Maybe not this time around, as the Massachusetts pilot gives a bit of a wiggle out of turn number 2, and that challenge for second may have just folded. Tommy Withers in the 13th spot finds himself 12 seconds behind Elliot Longenecker, who's catching up to defending champion Thomas Andrews. Andrews last pitted on lap 79, but with 21 laps to go this time by, is he saving those tires for a green-white checkered? Bit of a drift from the number 2. Alsimkowski still a 1/4 of a second ahead of Cody Riggs. And it looks like drivers are just on the conservation game right now, trying to make sure that their tires go the distance. Tom Sears in 3rd, 1 second behind Dustin Painter. Cody Riggs getting ever closer to Alsimkowski. Is he turning that screw just a bit stronger now? 8 laps of difference between their tires. Elliot Longenecker decides to come down pit road, and the windy Chevrolet is in for what could be his final stop. The Washington native will drop out of the top 10. All of the top 4 last pitted on lap 63. Nobody within the top 6 has pitted more recently than lap 79. Ryan Pennell really on it, the North Carolinian. 6/10 away from Jeremy Brio. 17 laps to go next time by. Ryan Pennell, cousins with race leader and season 4 3-time winner Cody Pennell. We mentioned it again, Pennell came onto the TNT scene and immediately took like a fish to water. Scored 3 wins last season. Tied for most wins up until the season finale, when Toby Peanut Butter Estes got his 4th win of the season in Season 4's finale at Atlanta, where this driver, number 2, Thomas Andrews, was crowned champion for the first time in his TNT career. Right now he's running in 10th, 4/10 of a second ahead of Richie Catania. Jeremy Brio, Ryan Pennell, nose to tail. The Winston-Salem North Carolinian to the inside of the Pennsylvania native. Brio gives a bit of a fishtail out of turn number 4, and Davey Houck will also take the advantage to get to the inside of the Pennsylvanian. Dustin Painter is on his way to a second place finish if he can hold on for 13 more laps. But what will Tom Sears have to say about it? And will we get the dreaded yellow flag that puts a halt to all of this? Lucky number 13 laps to go for Good Hope, Georgia's Cody Pennell. Davey Houck, Jimmy Kerr, Jeremy Brio with a big slide out of turn number 4, and you saw the drift coming out of that 7-4 car. Great save by the 7-4. He's really wheeling that thing as best as he can. Houck to the inside. Almost a little bit of contact there. Even more fishtailing from that. Look at the hands in Brio's machine. Jimmy Kerr gets around that 7-4 car, but will he make that one stick? Cody Pennell. 1.8 seconds is the gap from him to Dustin Painter, and you wouldn't blame them for staying out if the yellow came out now. Tom Sears 1 second removed off that Aqua Fresh Pontiac. Alsimkowski 3.5 seconds behind, just trying to keep his 4th place away from Kentucky's Cody Riggs. Special mention to Tristan Catania, still running in the 19th position. despite being 4 laps off the pace. Josh Garrison in 17th, 3.5 seconds off of Elliott Longenecker. Possible speeding penalty there for Longenecker, but the 2.5 sits in 16th right now. 8 to go next time by, and Al Simkowski expands his advantage over Cody Riggs. Fans at home, the drawing is not over yet. Be sure to enter !TNT giveaway 1 for your chance to win a 164 throwback diecast. 1 entrant per viewer, naturally. We will close the raffle after the checkered flag. Cody Pennell leading Dustin Painter by 2.5 seconds. 6 laps to go next time by. Haven't seen a cup race here since 1996 when Jeff Gordon took victory. And who knows, we might just see the Cup Series here again sooner than we think. Cody Riggs within 0.4 of a second to Al Simkowski. Jack at F&D says raffle. Raffle indeed. Giving away a 164 diecast. Thursday Night Thunder drivers are not permitted to enter this diecast raffle. We're going to be giving away a little 164 diecast car for all 16 races this season. And if you have a look on Rick James TV on Twitter, you can see that Alan Kulwicki throwback diecast will be giving away very shortly following the end of this race. Defending champion Thomas Andrews on the outside of Jeremy Brio. He's going to get into 9th, and it looks like the defending champion making up for a slow start to his campaign. Jack at F&D says BS. Well, Don, you just you just can't win. Talking about Donald Ray, you'll see him driving in Thursday Night Thunder later this season as well. Donald Ray, good for a win last season in the number 5 CarQuest Chevrolet. He'll be driving in TNT, and as such, he just can't win. Cody Pennell, 2 1/3 seconds ahead of his nearest competitor, looking to start his 5th season off right. White flag is out this time by, and despite the threat of a caution, the number 28 Haviland Impala only has himself to beat on the way to victory. Dustin Painter in 2nd, Tom Sears in 3rd, Davey Houck and Ryan Pennell nose to tail for the 6th position. Entering that 3rd corner, Cody Pennell looking for the checkered flag, and he'll start the season off right. Pennell wins at North Wilkesboro. Ryan Pennell just ahead of Davey Houck. Will he be able to hold on to 6th? Houck with one last-ditch effort. He won't get there. Al Simkowski will come home in 4th. Ryan Pennell in 5th. Aiden Norman coming home in the 13th position. Cody Pennell, your race winner in that number 5-6. In the number 2-8, I'm sorry, that was the 5-6 of Jason Alexander that went for a spill. But he's your winner tonight. We'll hear from Cody Pennell, Dustin Painter, and Tom Sears on the podium. And a well-deserved burnout for the number 2-8. Cole, you're in the raffle, buddy. No problem. Fans at home, one last effort. Don't forget, enter !TNT giveaway 1 for your chance to win an Alan Kulwicki, Corey LaJoy throwback diecast. We'll be closing that raffle following Cody Pennell's extremely long burnout, but an extremely good burnout, isn't it? Go on, Cody, burn the house down, man. You've earned it. Fans, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment with our top 3 on the podium. Cody Pennell, your winner at North Wilkesboro. On the podium now with our top three. We're going to draw our raffle winner shortly, but let's start with two-time TNT champion Tom Sears coming home third in the 213simware.com Supra. Tomo, you got a shout out from Tall Bag of Milk in the chat, and a lot of fans from Southern Mass are rooting for you as well. How was your start to season 5?
You know what? It was a great start, actually. First of all, thanks for the stream, Rick. Really appreciate you doing these TNT races. So excited that we got the season back going again. Congrats to Cody on that win. He was running a heck of a race out there. Dustin Painter had the long run. He was going real good too. So, and just some great battles out there. I was battling with Jeremy for a while too. That was very intense. But wow, I didn't expect to get the pole. That was pretty random. We just sent it and wound up with the pole. Got one lap led, so that's good for the points. Yeah, just hung in there. Old tires, a lot of battles, trying to decide what lane was going because there was some difference in the lanes tonight. Sometimes the low line was going, sometimes the high line was going, and just trying to keep it off the wall. I got in the fence a couple times, but luckily it wasn't towards the end of the race. But yeah, I'd say that's not a win. It's a podium though. A good solid points day to start the season off here.
Great note to start that season. You'll be headed next week into Las Vegas, tied for second in points with Dustin Painter, just 6 seconds off of points leader Cody Pennell. Congratulations on the bronze medal, Tomo.
Absolutely. Thanks for your stream, Rick. And I just want to shout out real quick my friends that tuned in. I know you said Tall Bag was in there. He's a friend I grew up with around here, and so appreciate him tuning in, and any of my other friends that tuned in. And shout out to 213simware.com. They make some pretty cool sim gear. If you're looking to buy some stuff, hit them up. I got the links. Good race, guys. Thanks for the stream, Rick.
Our silver medalist tonight, North Carolina's very own Dustin Painter, starting his season off on the right foot with a second place finish tonight. Painter, for a minute, it looked like you had that lead all sewn up. Those tires really kicked in there.
Yeah, my first lap of more or less practice was my qualifying lap, so I went in blind. Had a good long run car, just probably fought too much with guys trying to get up toward Cody. Would have liked to have had a caution, then a restart, and maybe like a 30 lap run to see if I could have had a better car than that. But overall, good race. Glad that we finally have an all-star broadcaster, unlike what we have on Wednesday night. Just shout out to you for being a great broadcaster, and James Pierce, 45 more days.
A countdown to James Pierce as well. Congratulations on that second, man. We'll see you in a week's time at Vegas.
Have a good one.
Winner Cody Pennell. Let's see who's got that 164 diecast tonight. Let's pick a winner. Let's pick a winner in the chat. Let's pick a winner, and let's see if it'll do this properly. Let's try one more time here. It's between Tall Bag of Milk, that old Dirty 30, and K Rexican, and hoping Streamlabs will come on through. It doesn't come on through. You know what? We'll make it come on through here eventually. Let's talk to our race winner, Cody Pennell, in the 2.8 Texaco Impala. 3 wins last season and starting season 5 off with a W. What do you think about season 5? It looks like the championship is well within reach already after one race.
Yeah, I'm happy that I'm getting to run full time with these guys this season. Had some circumstances outside of this that didn't allow me to compete full time last season, so looking forward to a full season with these guys. Just a pretty good race overall. I got to thank Tom Sears and Dustin Painter. They raced me really clean. I know it was probably frustrating. I had the line, that if you were running the top line, the guy on the bottom, it was going to be almost impossible for him to pass you. Um, Tom had a much faster car. I felt like on the short run, on the restarts, and then obviously Dustin, he found something there late in the going on the bottom. But thankfully I saved enough tire. Uh, Shout out to the General Arca Menard sponsored series tires for lasting 110 something laps. So that was a lot of fun trying to just basically driving around the track with an egg under the throttle pedal. So. Yeah, overall, good race, and I appreciate you, Rick, for your broadcast, and I appreciate all the TNT guys for putting this on and allowing me to run.
We'll see you in 7 days as well, Cody. Great way to start the season. Congrats on the win.
Thank you, buddy.
Deplorable Me says, love racing TNT. These guys are incredible. That's Ohio's Terry Gabbard as well. And now let's go ahead and announce the winner of this race. It's going to be Tall Bag of Milk. At Tall Bag of Milk has won the 164 die-cast competition. And he's going to get... There you go. Exactly. That's Tom Sears' buddy in the chat as well. So Tall Bag of Milk is going to go home with that 164 Alan Kowicki diecast. We'll be sending that out. And let us know. Reach out on Twitter, and we'll figure out how to send that to you as soon as possible. But great way to start the season. Cannot complain at all. And once again, next Thursday night, 8:40 p.m. right here, we're taking these gorgeous ARCA cars to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the second of 16 rounds in Thursday Night Thunder Season 5. And until that next race, ladies and gentlemen, please stay safe, take care of each other, and we will